Hello and welcome to another edition of the Godfrey's Law Real Business Solutions podcast. I'm lucky enough to be joined again today by Louise Neville, Director and Chartered Accountant from Accounting Solutions Limited, just down the road. Welcome, Louise.
Oh, thank you, Brad. I love working with Godfrey Law, and it's nice to be here.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for giving up your valuable time. I know you're a busy lady, so I do really appreciate it. And the listeners are in for a treat today because they're going to get a few gems of your wisdom and some practical tips and tricks.
Oh, let's hope.
Yeah, we'll try not to oversell it, but I'm sure we will. So, Louise, today's topic is thriving in 2023 and beyond.
Right.
So this is a popular topic and actually a bit of a focus for the podcast this year about thriving, thriving to survive or surviving to thrive, however you want to look at it. Because, look, there's so much doom and gloom out there, isn't there?
Yes, there is.
The R word, recession and inflation and all, interest rates and all these sorts of big scary things that are sort of too much for many people. But in amongst all of that, I think as a business owner, there's a hell of a lot of opportunity still out there, but you're going to have to be smart about it, aren't you?
I think you are. And I love the fact that you say there's still opportunity out there, because there is. We just have to think differently, don't we? And keep our minds open. And as soon as we go into that fear, we shut down, don't we? And those blinkers go on and we can't see those opportunities.
Yes.
So I think that's one of them is not listening to the media and focusing on your business and what you're about. So if you listen to the economists, Tony Alexander very nicely last week said that now they're talking maybe only 50-50 that there may be a recession. So that was nice to hear. And last year, listening to, I analysed 4 of the economists of what they were saying, and they said, if we listen to the media, we'll have a recession. If we don't, we won't. And so I thought that was fantastic, only to see some of them, though, talking doom and gloom at the end of last year. So with that, how can we make the most of 23 and moving beyond? So 23 and 24, I think, are going to be big years. I know people have lapsed and got a bit relaxed about the supply chain.
Yes.
I think be very aware of that with the vulnerabilities around the world. I would be seriously considering what you put in place last year, continue it. So if you were buying your stock 6 months in advance, continue doing that because you've built your cash flow up to handle it. So why not continue? And that's going to be something really important to watch out for. But I like breaking it down. A book I follow and regularly read is called Scaling Up. Now, I wouldn't recommend it. It'll put you to sleep pretty fast. But from an accountant, it's great.
Right.
Now, they break the book. They talk about 4 main areas. And first, strategy. So get your strategy right. Have your vision. Dream. It's okay to dream, even though people are talking doom and gloom and recession. Because if you haven't got a dream, you haven't got goals, and you'll just flounder and just continue and have life take you rather than you take life. So get your focus right with your vision, but then you spread it amongst your team, and your people is the next section. So having your team happy is going to be very important because, they can go elsewhere now, can't they?
Culture is king or queen, isn't it?
It certainly is. So what are you going to do this year to be different with your culture? First, ask everyone, how do they want the culture to be? And have it as everyone is part of ownership of that culture. Yeah. And what do we do about it? What do they want? They may want flexibility. What are the working conditions like? Are you paying them a good market salary? There's businesses out there providing a lot of things for their employees around getting speakers in, mental health, providing all sorts, like a special, I know one lot have got, you can go to the doctors, a physio, dentist, all sorts of things.
Here at Godfrey's Law, we've just done health insurance for everyone.
Oh, fantastic.
And it's funny you talk about, the culture and involving the team. So we've just gone through a values exercise here.
Yes.
Where we've involved the whole team. And I'll be honest, and sorry, team, I thought it was going to be a bit of a train wreck, but I'm happy to report that it was an absolutely fantastic exercise.
Yeah.
It took a lot of work and involvement, both from myself and the team over a number of different sessions.
Yes.
And we were almost ready to finalise it, but it's been a really worthwhile exercise because I've learned a whole lot about my team and the people in it, things I never knew before.
Oh, that's lovely.
And we've been able to take everyone on the journey. And I know that may sound a little bit cliched and a little bit touchy-feely,
No,
but
not
it's
at all.
been really valuable and really worthwhile. So I thoroughly recommend that.
See, and you getting to know the team better, I bet you they got to know you as well, and that's part of it.
Poor people.
Isn't it? Rubbish. So they would have, it's cemented the group.
Indeed, it has, yeah. So that really resonates with me, Louise.
That's lovely. Another thing is quarterly development plans. This is something we introduced probably 2 years ago, and that's been brilliant because people can request what they want, and we have personal goals as well as business goals in that.
Yes.
And there's nothing better than actually putting it on paper, something really scary, but then you've got someone to help you be accountable to it for it to happen. And monthly check-ins. I know other places are doing, we do 2 monthly, but places do monthly check-ins as well. I think that's really good. And it's also looking at knowing what is expected of everyone. So of your role, your responsibilities of your role, and then how are you going against those responsibilities. And there's nothing more empowering than when people actually meet everything that they're supposed to be responsible for.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So the other parts, I'll go in a wee bit more about people, but the other parts is execution, making sure you execute, you actually follow through and actually put things into action. And then the other part is cash. Cash is often missed when you're looking at an overall cycle of growth, but cash is king, as they say. So what is it? Sales is vanity. So cash is your oxygen mask for the next 2 years. That's the important piece because through uncertainty, it's the cash that helps you through those times, but it's also the thing that helps you. If you've got cash, you'll see opportunity.
Most definitely.
And over the next 2 years, we're going to have a lot of opportunity to come up. You might be able to buy your competitors. Imagine if that came up and you took them on. But coming back to some of what some of the manufacturers in Christchurch are doing is they're putting in training pathways where if you come out of uni and you're planning to go into, say, a sales role within a factory, they will have you go round and do every task in the factory as well as into finance, into every area of the business. And this is so for engineers, everyone, it's fantastic because they actually get to see how the whole business works. And it's really empowering for them.
It's that holistic approach, isn't it? Seeing all facets of the triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also widening people's roles, so you become able to do many other tasks, and employees are getting a lot out of that as well.
Great.
So dealing with issues is the other big thing that has come up, is making sure for business owners that you deal with the issues, because as we're so busy, it's easy to throw it in under the carpet, but employees don't like that.
I'm just going to jump in there, Louise, if I may. Did a leadership webinar the other day with a wonderful lady, originally from Czechoslovakia, I believe, Maya Angelou, and she runs a number of wonderful leadership courses, and I've done one before online. They're bite-sized and they're very, very doable. Anyway, what she was talking about is radical candor in your business with your employees.
And what is that?
And so radical candor is the concept that as Kiwis, we are sort of, conflict adverse. We can be a little bit passag.
Yes.
We can be shoving all the stuff under all the shite under the carpet and letting it build up. But it's actually let's just throw that out the door because that's not really working because that's heading for disaster. So radical candor is just simply having those hard conversations when they need to be had, facing things head on, talking with people like they're people, not being afraid, not living in fear and saying, hey, we've got an issue and we need to sort it out. How do we do that?
Yeah. That's
Wonderful
really good.
concept. That's something I try to live by. It's not always easy.
Yes.
But it's amazing the results you can get when you tackle that head on with your people and say, like, we need to talk and let's have a conversation because this isn't working.
That's good. And I bet they get a lot out of it because they get a chance to change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they learn how to have those hard conversations because a lot of people are not used to having them. And it's such an important skill because it'll take you so far in your personal life as well as your professional life.
And the other thing is, I think a lot of our behaviour, sometimes we're quite unaware of it. And so if it's pulled up, then we have that opportunity.
Yep.
Otherwise, I think it's important to clean out the weeds.
Indeed.
And I think you would get respect for that within the team if you do that.
Yes, most definitely.
Meeting rhythms is another thing, and having people participate and you take their ideas on and put them in place. So having contribution from many, and of course this is a younger generation thing too, isn't it?
Yes.
Is they're wanting to contribute.
Yep.
But those meeting rhythms is about doing the same meeting, like with an agenda, and repeating it. Like, you know how we sometimes spasmodically do, say, a marketing meeting. Well, when does it happen again? You know, in 3 months' time or whenever. So it's about having that regular meeting.
Yes. Yep.
And what are some other things? Is, putting people through training and having good mentors around them.
Yes.
Because people are our biggest asset over the next 2 years. And I think that's one big message I'd like to get across is we've got such a severe shortage that they really are our biggest asset. And so we really want them to be successful in their roles and beyond.
And a big thing I'm finding there, Louise, and I think that's quite right, is that it's not, in my view, it's not just enough these days as a business owner to look after your people because that's expected in terms of the things you do for them. So the things you talked about, paying them a good salary or they're on a good wicket, the other things you do around that, the leadership, the mental health stuff, the self-care, the work flexibility, that's all now expected, right? Is my view. But it's also about how do you challenge the people who work for you, because a lot of the people that come through our door now are wanting to be challenged. They want to know, well, how am I going to grow while I'm with you? What does that look like?
Yes.
What are you going to do in that department?
Yeah.
So we've got, career development plans, and a part of the career development plan, as you talked about, is that those professional and personal goals. And how do we get to there? Because we know where we want to get, but what does that look like? And what do you need to do to get there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's
they're asking for that.
That's right. They're leading it, aren't they?
They are leading it. You're dead right.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And trust and appreciation is the other big thing. But, we often forget to say thank you and really appreciate them. But, that's biggie.
Yes.
So the other thing is, what are you going to do differently in your business for your customers, for your clients? One of the things is, can you do outsourcing? Can you get AI into your business, artificial intelligence? Look at the Chat GPT.
Yes.
That's an AI platform. Where we're heading is really exciting. So
luckily, that said when posed the question whether there's still going to be a place for lawyers, that I thought that yes, there would be. I'm sure the answer will be the same for accountants.
Look, you'll be pleased. I said last week is, would you really trust an AI to put together your lease agreement? Imagine if they left some of the most important clauses out.
That's right. Disastrous.
Yes, exactly. So, no, I'm sure you'll still have a job next year, Brad.
Fantastic. Excellent. Let's carry on then.
Outsourcing. What jobs are you doing internally that you can outsource, like marketing, some of your finance side? So that's another area, and things that can be put into systems and procedures to be done the same every time. And then can that be done through AI if it's repeated? Innovation. Because if we don't have people, we're going to have to look at where can technology take over from people.
Yep.
So it's robots and really looking into the future. So, yeah. What else? Pricing. Do you pass your pricing increases on, or do you try and become more efficient and absorb them within your business? I think that's a big question. To me, it would be really important to try and pass those costs on if you can, but you need to look at your clients. Can they get your same product or service from overseas? and how much reliance are they on you. So you really need to consider that before you go putting your prices up. It may be a mix.
Yeah, makes sense.
But the big thing, I think, for the next 2 years is marketing. So I know people are going, but I am flat out. I'm so busy. I've got my next 3 months booked up. But remember, what happens after that? And if you're used to 100 leads coming in the door and you've noticed they're slowing down and maybe you've got a 10% conversion rate, you get 10 clients, but if you then go in 3 months' time and there's only 50 leads coming in the door, that's 5 clients. And if you're used to running with 10, then you have to really be aware of that. And it takes 3 months usually. By the time you turn your marketing tap on, get your website up looking good again.
Yes.
Spend the money. And you've got the money right now, spend it. And get your website looking fantastic and working out your target market. Your target market may have changed in the last 2 years, and who do you want to be your target market? So how do you market? Does your website represent that?
Yes.
So this is a place I think people need to spend a lot more money is in their marketing department.
Yes.
And it's the piece that's been left, it's that department that's been left behind for the last, probably since COVID.
Yes.
So it's the one that's going to have to get the dust off and get that back out and get that up and running again.
Indeed, yeah. Well, look, we've got a marketing team here in the firm. We meet every 3 weeks, and we've got a
brilliant.
marketing
And a meeting
plan,
with them.
and a meeting with them, and a marketing strategy, and we try and work the strategy, and that's hugely important and has paid dividends for us. So.
And the other thing you had there was accountability, which is awesome. So there's 3 of you in the team.
Yep.
So you have to turn up to the meeting, don't you?
That's right.
And and you've got someone saying, well, why haven't we done that? And just remembering to do it.
And you take minutes and you record the action steps and who's responsible for doing them.
Yeah, that's great. The other big thing is efficiency. I think for the coming year, we might be sitting quite complacent at the moment, but dual suppliers is making sure you've got your backup.
Yes.
Which everyone did very well at last year, but I'd just keep that up. And the contracts, making sure you can pass on your clauses, that you can pass on increased prices in your contracts, I think it's really important. You can probably speak to that.
Yes, indeed.
And in making sure your contracts are signed.
Yeah.
The other important thing is having insurance backup for wherever you get a revenue stream. So just rechecking your insurance policies, because if you put them in place 5 years ago and haven't really revisited them, pricing's all got out of date. So it's updating that and making sure every income stream into your family and into your business is somehow backed up with insurance. And getting rid of your bad clients. If you're lacking time, get rid of your bad customers, those ones that don't pay, the ones that muck up your scheduling.
Yes. And that's about, just to jump in there, it's about, we've done this exercise over the years, what we call identifying your A, B, C and D clients, or however you want to label it. It might sound a bit harsh, but, the C and D clients can tend to take up a lot of your time. Always complain about your fees, and they're never happy.
Yeah.
When your A and B clients are always happy, always pay your fees, and are lovely people to work with.
Yes,
Yeah.
or let you know when you need to.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And they communicate.
Exactly. Yeah.
And cash flow is the biggie for the next 2 years.
Yes.
Is sell your surplus assets. What have you got that you've built up that you no longer use?
Yeah.
Sell it and get a really good accounts payable system in place as prices are coming in, and are you checking your supplier invoices to what is actually against budget? That's really important. And keeping an eye on the margin of every job that you do.
Yes.
And, of course, accounts receivable. Just having a really good system. Accounts receivable is just a system that needs to be repeated over and over again every month.
Consistently,
same.
in and out.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Overheads, you'll probably noticed you'll have a lot more automatic payments and direct debits. Just think of Apple and iTunes and all those extras that may be going on iCloud backup and things that maybe are now getting catered for in another sort of backup system.
Yes.
So go through your overheads and have a good clean out. Know what every single item is.
That's a good one. Avoid the bloat.
Yeah, the CEO of Goshi, I was reading an article by him last month, and he was talking about keep investing in a recession time. And I have actually seen that with clients when they invest into buildings and technology, where they sit today to where they did that back in 2009.
Yes.
Right in the middle of a recession. They are just doing so well now because of what they did back then. And I've watched their wage margin just drop and drop and drop as more technology came in. And, of course, they can be so much more competitive.
There's that word again, opportunity.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah, that opportunity. And the biggie is watch where your head goes. Get out of the media and get out of the doom and gloom and just,
Yes. That's something you talked about in our last podcast.
Yeah. Have a mentor, someone who will help you keep your mind in the right place.
Fantastic.
I think that's good. Yeah.
Yes.
Where do you invest? So where do you invest your money this year? Where do you do that? I'd say in marketing, into your website and your own health and well-being.
Yeah, and I see you've been doing a bit of that lately, Louise.
Why do you see that?
You've had some wonderful holidays recently, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been over in India for a month.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend holidays. You don't have to go overseas for a holiday.
True.
But there was nothing better than going to a totally different culture to start to think differently for the coming year. So if you're feeling stuck, go visit India.
Right. Oh, there you go. You heard it here first. Excellent.
Oh, no, you just come away from there in awe of their culture. It's quite incredible. Their culture is something that you see it lacking. I've talked with quite a few clients about it, is their perception has been, New Zealand, we have become quite materialistic and starting to lose, you think of your mum and dad and your grandparents and that. We've lost some of that good old culture of
we used to be a bit more egalitarian, didn't we?
Yeah, we were. We were. And India has this beauty of with their worship and their religion, and it's about family, and it's about the neighbours, and it's about community. It's beautiful. And yet many of them have nothing, yet they're so happy. It's a beautiful place to be, and then just see a different perspective and come home and put some things in that are different. And see, great. Holiday, see if you think, so if you are stuck, that's a nice thing to do. But the importance of holidays.
Yes.
Looking after yourself for the coming 2 years. Coming year is book your holidays in, even if it's 3 days out in the bush.
That's right. Yep. It's so important for me, and to speak from experience, I've got to have that stuff booked in the diary because, I've got to have something that I'm looking forward to that I know is coming down the line, and really relish it and go and enjoy it when you have it. And you know what? Turn your phone off. Don't look at your emails.
No.
The building's not going to fall down while you're away. Well, knock on wood, it's not going to. I better be careful.
We are in Christchurch.
But allow yourself to have some time out to truly disconnect from your business. I think it's so important.
Yes, I agree. And I'm the same. I know my stress months for the year, so we book. I get Barry to book and take me away into the bush where we go be by water or go tramping or go do something. And I do it with the clients too, is where are their stress months, and then they need to go away in that time because, when you're so busy, I can see it with the clients who didn't take Christmas off, and they're coming in where we were all in December, and I don't think we realised, but wound up and the stress levels were high, and we were just probably a wee bit more too focused on work and not focused on the bigger things in life. And I see it with people. So I get clients to plan their holidays throughout the year and make sure there's something every couple of months or at least every quarter.
Great. So important.
And same with the team.
Yeah.
You think of how the team have been coming back after Christmas. Isn't it wonderful?
Yes, yeah, indeed.
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
indeed.
all happy and...
Indeed. Well, Louise, we might look to wrap it up there, unless
Okay.
you've got any concluding thoughts. I'm looking at Louise, and she's got pages and pages of notes. I think I'd have to say Louise has been my most prepared podcast guest ever. So you get an A++ for that, Louise.
Oh, look, that's the accountant in me.
Yeah, no way. I mean, look, you're a true professional, and I can really see that it shines through, and obviously the material you've presented on the podcast and the work you do for your clients and the great business you've got down the road there. And so,
thank you, Brad.
Yeah, so thank you so much for coming on board again today. Now, if people want to find you to hear more about how to thrive in 2023 and beyond, how do they contact you, Louise?
Probably just email me, Louise, Louise, Louise at asl.co.nz, or look us up on asl.co.nz.
Fantastic. Well, look, thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure being here. Thank you.
Wonderful, with the cameras rolling again today.
Yeah,
so that's another edition of the Godfreys Law Real Business Solutions podcast. I've been your host, Brad McDonald. It's been wonderful to have you listening again today, and we look forward to talking to you next time. Cheers.